Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today, we're going to be talking about Atossa Therapeutics, going with the ticker ATOS. Now, on this one here, I did talk about Atossa before on the 16th of July in my previous video, but today we're bringing new pieces of information, technical analysis, what I think about this one, and how I think it's going to be trading. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Atossa Therapeutics. So what is the massive big news that dropped this one almost around 24%? Are they going bankrupt? Did someone get tangled into a scandal or something? And the answer is no. Basically, there is a small point of news, and Investor Place puts it really well. So ATOS or Atossa stock dips sharply ahead of special meetings, so the company continues to conduct its clinical trials abroad. Meanwhile, Atossa is looking to offer up significantly more shares on the market. Today, the company announced a shareholder meeting in its setting for early September. The special meeting will see ATOS or ATOS shareholders vote to approve the contentious amendment to the company's certificate of incorporation. If the amendment sees approval, the total number of common stock shares will be raised by 100 million shares. The increase in the supply of common stock would help the company raise funds for operations. Currently, its operating cash flow stands at $12.75 million in losses. Regardless of what this could mean, the company is going on. The stock dilution is something that most investors are being afraid of. So basically, this is what we're getting. Apparently, shareholders received a proxy relating towards voting for additional shares. 100 million shares is almost double the entire shares float of around 120 million. So basically really slashing it into half. So people who are looking at it in $4, it would be basically equivalent to $2 market cap in September once this gets approved. So the idea is this one here, the market cap, which is the number of shares outstanding multiplied by the number or the stock price, is equal to the market cap. If you increase the shares outstanding, what usually happens is that the stock price plummets to meet that previous market cap or get close to. In some certain circumstances, what happens is that the stock does raise in price or stay where it is, and the market cap just doubles with an insane amount of cash for the company. So that could be a possibility, and it's still going on towards a vote way ahead of September. So what I feel is there's a lot of attention, a lot of tension as well for the investors, and they're looking at news almost daily. And the first negative news that hits about a possible vote in September that it's going to happen and people are running towards the gates, that is panic selling. So really, this one is being hit by panic selling. Now, in terms of other things about this one, in terms of Atossa, first off, they have a clinical summary. The phase 2 study halted with positive data. Phase 2 for breast density planned for Stockholm. COVID-19 2 therapeutics program, the AT301 nasal spray for at-home use, and the ATH201 or 01 inhalation therapy. They're working on currently with cash of around $137 million as of March 31st, 2021. By the way, I'm not sure if the shares outstanding do reflect all the offerings they've done before, but basically they're going to raise it with another 100 million shares. Let's say it's at $3 a share. That's $300 million additional. That's almost around $440 million that they're going to be sitting on cash. That would be insanely massive. And you would think a company that has this much cash, they wouldn't be raising any shares or at least going on for a vote for shares. So that's something to really swallow. And definitely the investors are the one paying the price onto this one. Before going on towards institutional buyers, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and leave notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to drop a like to this video, and you can join our Discord. There's a lot of people on there that are fans of Atossa, totally free, and you can chat with them. In terms of institutional buyers, on the 30th of July, you see AllianceBernstein adding around 116,000 shares. That's almost sitting at almost $400,000. DuPont Capital added around 35,000. Earlier on in the month, around 26th of July, Stirs Ohio adds 27,000 shares. Royal Fund Management and other companies did liquidate on the 26th of July for some of their shares, and you get to see the general trend is a bit mixed. You have people buying and people selling in the institutional realm. In terms of insiders, what you see is that there's no such activity that might indicate a freak out from the insiders, but as well, in any cases, there are rules and regulations that control insider selling in general. In terms of short volumes, these are sitting high around 50% to around 65% on the short volume, which is really massive. In terms of the short flow, is sitting at 21%. Again, we're not exactly sure whether that shares flow in general is actually updated to all the offerings they did, but the assumption is that they do. So that means it's a stock that has a really high short flow, really high short volume, and it still has a high short flow. So let's move on towards technical analysis to discuss this further. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint, what we're starting to see is that the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA. Now that is bearish. And the price point is below the 50 SMA, sitting at 496, and that as well is bearish. The bullish thing is that this one is above the 200 SMA at the 275 level. And that seems to be one of the most or the last things on the moving averages that is keeping this one bullish. And people trading this one, investors as well, seem to have an indication that that 200 SMA line is a holy grail that they shouldn't cross below. And it looks like perhaps the current bottom for this one is sitting at 275, relating towards the 200 SMA. If it does drop below there, we might be in real trouble. In terms of the ADX, this doesn't suggest a strong negative trend, but the William percent R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, also known as the RSI, showcases that this one is highly oversold. On the MACD, you're seeing a reversal towards perhaps a positive side, but with the last day of trading on Friday with the massive drop, it shows that this reversal might be prolonged. In terms of the momentum point, you're seeing a very strong negative momentum, and that's a very dangerous thing. In terms of the stochastic fast and stochastic slow, this one is suggesting to keep an eye where the next support is, because this one is sitting flat. Now there is a very strong chance for a reversal, and you know what would need that reversal? Is the PR team to actually go ahead and do something and release some sort of good news. Having this kind of news is just really beating this one down. The Bollinger Bands, which is moving average kind of volume bands, momentum bands, you're seeing that this one trades at 663 on the top and 287 on the bottom, and that's where the Bollinger Band is expected to kind of flow around. But the Bollinger Band is kind of shifting a little bit downwards, to keep in mind onto that. Now on the Fibonacci retracements, and the reason why I'm highlighting this one is because high frequency traders use it. The current ultimate support on here is 293. Below there, 81 cents. The resistances are 424, 531, 637, 788, and 980. Now in terms of a price line action, you're seeing a very strong support at the 297, below there 265, below there a very critical one at 241, and then the 212, and then the breaker or make it is around 199, 171, following that 150, and there's no point of drawing any lines below there because it would shift under $1 right away. In terms of a resistance, there's a very strong resistance currently being exhibited at the 302 level. Above there, 343. Above there, you're seeing another one at 389, going to 417, and then up to 452, and then going a little bit upwards to 514, going to 579, a very strong one at 602, going up to 680, and then 719, 805, and then upwards to around 8051. Comes to the question, Ed, what do you think is going to happen? Well, I do think from what we've seen previously is that it does shift a little bit in a day or two, so probably Monday might be a little bit red, or just at least jump up a little bit, red candle, and then you're going to start having this kind of accumulation. Now, really what this is waiting on, it's a ticking bomb. It needs a good PR. If it doesn't have a good PR, it might actually be a very risky trade. And it really does hurt me seeing the stock go from $9.80 almost to $3, but the company has a strong potential. It does need significant PR releases and some information to be released out there in terms of helping the stockholders. What do you think about this one? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.